them come. This is their fate.
All right. Welcome back to the House of Wolves podcast. I am your host, Deontay. Here are my near and dear friends, Jalen and Josh. I still ain't did my audio stuff, so I don't have my gun sound, so you're going to have to deal with the pew, 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 pew. I was watching Star Wars earlier, and yeah, Star Wars is still dope. Like the sound effects, everything they kind of made. Anyways, I'm on tangent. But I'm going to give me some gun sounds. I'm going to give me some Star Wars sounds too, because I actually like that. But anyways, we got some stuff to talk about. Kind of made up a list because it was a very slow week for gaming. Not so much for the other stuff in the world, but gaming-wise, it's been a very slow week. I would say that. We all getting captivated with that. I'm gonna call it the new OJ trial. But yeah. Anyways, what y'all got? What y'all been doing? What y'all been up to? And what games y'all been playing?
Go ahead, Jalen. Take it away. Tell us about that Dark Souls you was playing the other day.
Wait, what you talking about?
Man, I said you was playing Dark Souls today.
He was playing Dark Souls? Man, he always going back to that. What's up, bro? You playing Dark Souls 2? Tell me at least it wasn't 2.
Man, bro, why did you even know that?
Because PlayStation be hitting me up like Jalen online. Like,
Man, ain't telling none of my little secrets, ain't it?
Nah, trust and believe. I know every time Josh get on Fortnite, I be like, dang, that boy on Fortnite again. Why you think I knew what he said?
Check in on my dailies.
He said he sleep. I said, nah, that boy on Fortnite. Trust and believe, we be stalking each other online for sure. I get it every time Josh get on Xbox, Radiant, Wolf online. I said, what are you out here doing? Sometimes if you just watch the TV.
Man.
Go ahead.
What I've been up to.
So Dark Souls, okay, tell us a little bit about that. What you want to go back to that for?
Now who was you fighting?
Bro. I literally, my friend was playing Stank Souls too. And I cut it on to see, like, you know, I can probably hop on with him. And then it said something about PlayStation Plus. I was like, nah. I'm like, I'm not gonna play with you, bro. I don't even want to play this game. So I actually ain't played it. So I literally cut it on and seen where I was at and just cut it back off.
I see.
And then I'm trying to think, but other than that, I mean, I beat Sonic Frontiers the other day. It's a pretty straight game. I mean, I enjoyed it for what it was. I mean, it's a Sonic game, so I don't expect it to be like super, super intense, groundbreaking, like leave a lasting impact. But it was a fun game for what it was. I'm contemplating on trading it at this point and putting it on for like Crisis Core or something like that. But
yeah,
I don't know if they drop some DLC. But I guess if they drop some DLC, it ain't gonna be the game price. The game price been dropping anyway, so or be having. Sure.
Yeah, the DLC probably come bundled with the game, and you'll probably can get it for a decent price. So it's up to you.
Yeah, so that, and I mean, obviously we've been playing Overwatch. Still with that, I gotta get our daily wins, and you know how that go. And I guess the other game, like I said, I still been playing that Pokemon Adventure Red game on there. It is a little bit darker than what I thought it'd be, but still an interesting game though. So it's a different take on Pokemon, but it ain't like too dark or whatever. So but that's really about it though.
Sound like it's a good list. It's not, you can't argue with it, I suppose.
Especially with me, right?
Luckily,
Dark Souls. Jalen.
Yeah, pretty good week for Jalen. Actually finished the game. He didn't go back into his old ways of playing too much Dark Souls. He got bamboozled by the PlayStation Network. He said, "I ain't paying you, suckers." You gotta learn how to scam him up out of it. But it's not too much scamming you can do. He said he don't care enough to scam it.
That's what I'm saying. I'm not gonna figure out how to get PlayStation Plus, and I'm not gonna use it for.
Yeah,
I ain't finna pay $10. I'm not gonna figure out how to finesse $10. My time ain't even worth doing that.
Yes, sir. Look at that. That's growth right there. Gotta get
Mm.
that's growth right there. He said, "Ain't worth my
Uh,
time. Ain't worth my time." I got it. I got it. All right. Well, very tame on my end, but let's go with you, Josh. What you've been playing? What you've been up to? Update the
I
people.
ain't went back to Dark Souls, but I'm still chipping away at Dragon's Dogma. Told
Oh,
y'all
you
last
Dragon's
week that game
Dogma.
tight.
Yeah, you
That
did say
game
something about
tight.
that last
Uh,
time. Yeah.
yeah. No, I
please.
just like it because it's one of the few games where you can jump right into the DLC content, which is like the best stuff in the game, and start from level one. But they, took some steps to make it still fun.
Mm.
Like since you jump right into the DLC, like you level up fast. It give you all the stuff you need. All the shops and upgrade stuff are all in the same area. So, uh, I just go back to the game periodically and play through it. Still really good, and I think it's my favorite. Not like counting Resident Evil, but like I like the Devil May Cry games, but I don't know, the combat is like very flashy and
Mm-hmm.
complicated, but I don't feel like it's ever really necessary. You learn a few moves, you can play through the game, unless you really want to go on like the hardest difficulty, you're trying to like, really stay alive. It's not, you don't have to learn all those moves. Whereas Dragon's Dogma really like flexible, really fun, like magic system, mixing classes together, level up one class, switch to another, and keep all your same abilities. So that's pretty fun. Other than that, yeah, just we've been winning a lot on Overwatch. Getting to that point where we gonna have to challenge ourselves to start playing
No, no,
ranked.
sir, no, sir, no, sir. I don't know about that. I mean, it's a
'Cause,
tough. That's a
I mean,
tough jump. It's a tough
y'all
jump.
was like, man, we won 5 matches. This ain't even fun.
That's yeah. It's nice to win, but that's a large step, especially when I ain't even called with my Widowmaker yet. I win my little offhand fights when they get close, but I gotta be almost confident with her to kind of move into that. And they got them hitters and coordinated assaults in in that mode. So we got to be ready for a coordinated assault and everything, switching up tactics, all that. So it's a little more of an undertaking, but yeah, Overwatch has been fun lately. Um, what I've been playing and enjoying a lot, I've told you guys about Need for Speed Unbound. Still think that's probably one of my probably the funnest games I've played this year. I mean, because there's no storytelling that I really care for. It's all truly just a gameplay. I love the cop chases. I love the difficulty of it. I love that I get busted. I love that it's not like it's easy. The races are hard. You have predicted locations of where you're gonna predicted like positions where you're gonna come in place, and it's up to you and your driving ability. You don't get that many restarts. They limit your restarts. You only get like four on a difficulty I'm playing. I think if you go up one more difficulty, you only get like two. But yeah, and that's four across the entire session of that night or the days. So day in, night cycle, you only get four restarts. So you got to be good at the game. I ain't never played a Need for Speed game like that, like where you ain't got no rewind system. It ain't about fun and games. You gotta pick your stuff. You gotta make sure you're doing the right things. And I don't know, the challenge is actually quite fun. Maybe go back and play it through it on the hardest difficulty, but them cops are already a headache. I don't think I want to do that. So yeah, I'm really enjoying Need for Speed Unbound. I've been playing a ton of that. Tried to jump on Crisis Core, played one mission. Then I like I talked to you about it a little bit, Josh. I don't really like I didn't understand or know that it was going to be like pretty much the old game, just updated to have the new graphics. But they didn't like make it open world or anything like that, which it's understandable, but it's still $50. So I'm like, kind of annoyed about it. But I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to play it. Gameplay has always been at the forefront for Final Fantasy VII remake stuff. So this is like kind of pretty close to that combat. So I don't really have a problem playing through the gameplay. I just don't like the broken up mission based type games where it's not fulfilling those needs that you usually get when it's and Final Fantasy VII was like that too, but a little bit. At least you had areas to explore, linear in a linear way. But this is kind of like you do a mission, you do the mission, you're done with that mission, you can go back and try to find secrets. I don't even think you can replay missions yet. I don't know. I only played one mission, but seems like a very linear and repetitive concept. But hopefully the gameplay saves it. I'll let you guys know as I continue to play. But right now, I'm going to play
it's pretty linear as far as like the main story missions. There are a lot of like extra content in the game. Like it's mission based. Like it's a whole menu where like you can go to this place, fight this boss, and like it's like 300 missions in that game that you just pick and just do. But like luckily it is a story heavy game, so even if you just ignore all the side content and doing the main missions, there'll be a lot of cutscenes and a lot of story stuff too. So if you enjoy the story, then that's good. You know, and that way you ain't gotta feel like you just playing a Tales game where you fighting enemies for 50 hours.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, yeah, hopefully, like I said, right now I'm just gonna play the funner game. That's gonna be Need for Speed for the time being. But once I beat that, Crisis Core is up next. I don't really have anything else I've been playing outside of Overwatch. In those two games, I try to play Plague Tale again. I'm just not in the mood to play that type of game right now. And High on Life is another game I downloaded and installed, but they get pushed to the back burner because I don't have to pay any like real money. But High on Life was very interesting. Like the first little like hour I played of it. As long as like the jokes aren't too cringy, and too like overly abundant, which people say that the combat is really nice too once you get a lot of upgrades. And I want to see them break the, that fourth wall a lot and kind of talk to the actual player and not the player you're playing as. So I like that type of stuff. And I like Rick and Morty and all that, but I stopped watching Rick and Morty because I was done with their comedy style. And so it's kind of hard for me to kind of jump into this and be like, well, now I want to play a whole game in this world. But I think I played Trevor Saves the Universe in the VR thing. I thought it was pretty interesting. So it's not like I haven't tried these type of games before, and it's like a higher budget, has boss fights and stuff like that. So we'll see. I'm not writing it off. That's for sure. So. But yeah, that's
interesting. I might try it, but we'll see.
Yeah,
I mean, watch Rick and Morty, so I don't know if I like it.
One of y'all gotta try it. You know it ain't gonna be Jalen. No, I'm just playing. Jalen play games, y'all. Don't let that narrative keep running in y'all heads. Jalen play games. You see him beat Sonic Frontiers, man. He beat it for everybody. Sonic Frontiers finish finito. I wonder how many hours it took you to beat that game. That's the question.
22.
22 hours? That's not bad. That ain't bad. Okay. Well, because I got to beat that too. I got too much stuff to play. I got some time off coming up, so I can get to some stuff, but it's very minimal when I got time for. So, which, like I said, I was not expecting Need for Speed to be fun, but I'm glad it is because they needed a win, and I'm definitely looking forward to Need for Speed Unbound 2, which hopefully they continue. Criterion is back, baby, and they actually making a decent game. So, but moving on, let's get into these topics. Like I said, it's a slow week, people, so don't be expecting much. Unfortunately, a lot of the gaming news broke with the Game Awards. Jeff Neely ate it all up. There's not much else to talk about. I think we didn't even get to all of our topics last week because of that Jeff Neely stuff. So maybe we could toss in some of those. But let's get started. I think the first one I want to talk about is our most anticipated game of 2023. Let's start off hot. Let's start off with something that people might actually be interested in listening to. So, anticipated games. What we thinking? What we thinking? I already know what mine's was, and I know there's a lot of games out there that are coming out in 2023, like a running list. I could probably give y'all games for. But which ones are y'all like standouts right now? Like,
Well,
I say two at least, because right now, I mean, it's too many. But I mean, if you only got one, that's fine. But if you got two, let me know.
well, since Deontay said we can't say big title games like Final Fantasy
Nope.
16 or Zelda,
Nope.
y'all know Square Enix fanboys right here in this. But
Nope. Those games are too predictable. Everybody loves those games. Let's get
man,
something that
everybody don't love
nobody.
Final
Let's get
Fantasy,
something.
bro.
What you?
I feel like everybody don't love Final Fantasy, but it's alright then.
Everybody loves Final Fantasy. Stop it. Just like Legend of Zelda. Like, come on. Who's
Man,
not
people been
playing
dogging
Final
Final
Fantasy?
Fantasy out for a minute.
You talking about like maybe people that only play simulation games, and then we ain't talking to them. Them ain't gamers. Those are literally simulation players.
People was lighting 15 up, 13 got lit up. Like they be lighting them games up, bro.
But they played them. How you gonna light it up if you ain't play it? They played it.
You say everybody love them games. They don't like them. But anyways.
Dude. Well, I guess I said that. You're right. You're right in that statement. I did say everybody likes them. This one is a higher budget, has more appeal, does not have a emo main character. This one's gonna take off. That is my assumption. So that's why I said it. But yeah, okay, I understand what you're saying. Final Fantasy 15 did suck. So
not the teleportation of the blades, not just fun. But anyway, I say I don't know, like I'm not super excited about like a whole lot of games and stuff like that just because of all the stuff that come with releases, but I am I guess more anticipating what is it, Star Wars or Jedi Survivor. I didn't beat Fallen Order, but I definitely enjoyed like the amount that I had played of it. It made a good progress to the game. I said I could go back and pick it up or whatever. I just haven't really got around to doing it. I've been in the midst of like moving and stuff like that, and there's a lot of like different things. I kind of felt displaced, but anyway, that's a whole nother story. But definitely enjoy Fallen Order. Definitely want to go back and play it. I like how they cleaned it up. Dude looked like Deontay had talked about this previously. He looked like he belonged in the Star Wars universe now. At first, he just kind of looked like he was like an outpatient or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
bro, that man looks sick. I was like, bro, what? You look pasty, my boy. He need to throw some little sugar on you. You looking real pasty. He was weird.
His body figure was like odd. I don't know if
it was so weird. Like he did not. I just didn't think he fit into a Star Wars. And then first off, that was the first introduction to like a character that's not truly the main. Well, not really, because old dude was in Star Wars Force Unleashed. He was in it, but he looked like he belonged. I don't know. I just like the way they colored him. He felt like he was above the art design and not within the art design. And that's weird.
He looked so much like his real actor, and like his real actor is like a I forget what he was in, like in Gotham and stuff, but I don't know, he fits in like a different time period with just like his basic looks. And this one, he looked more older. He got, like a little 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
So he doesn't look as like a clean Hollywood 25-year-old actor do.
Yes, because he definitely looked like that, and he did not look like he belonged in a Star Wars themed rough of the mug type of situation. He looked like he should have been like one of the elites in his very gold and plated everything, but he just didn't fit. That's it. That was all.
And I finished the game, and I liked like the gameplay, and like eventually like the ability that you get. He still wasn't my favorite character. I enjoyed all the like other side characters in the game more, but I think they have a good formula for that game, and I want to see more of it. So
yeah,
and I don't think he's like a bad character or anything like that. He just, like I say, he didn't really fit the game entirely. Almost like you say, he was in a room. Somebody you would see in school.
He wasn't a standout, memorable.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I say that's probably the game that I'm looking forward to, and definitely seeing what they do with it on next gen. So, um,
Yeah.
like,
Okay. Well,
but
I'm gonna
Final
pass.
Fantasy 16 would be on number one, but it's cool though.
You got any others? If that's the only one, we can move on to Josh.
Nah, that's it.
All right, Josh, what you got for us, man? Let's hear from
Well, yeah.
Yoey.
No, I'll just reiterate. I got my two, but the Fallen Order, or I mean, not Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor is on my list too. Another game that I don't know how good it would be, but I want to see them at their best, which is Redfall. Like, uh, the Dishonored team, right? They
Yeah.
made good games before, and I've always been interested in them, but like I played Prey and I haven't finished it yet, and it's so far a really good game. But I want to see what they can do with like a brand new IP and it's multiplayer based. Like, can they still keep their the story and like interesting mechanics in a new multiplayer game?
Yeah.
And if they can, then that's a win for Microsoft. If not, then that's another disappointment for Microsoft. Um, the other one was Hyper Light Breaker. I guess you could still consider it an indie game because it's a small team, but they made Hyper Light Drifter, which I don't know if y'all remember that game, but it was like a 2D game,
Yeah,
but
I
your character
remember.
had like a laser sword. Yeah, and
Mhm.
it was really fun. You can like dash and parry and stuff like that. This one though is like their third game that they made, and it's actually 3D now. So it still has the same art style as Hyper Light Drifter, but it's a fully 3D game, and you still got like a laser sword and laser gun, but with like just different other sci-fi elements like a hoverboard and stuff like that. So if they keep that same gameplay just in 3D, that should be really good. Um, yeah, those were my two. I feel like there was one more I was forgetting I just saw. Uh, well, if they come up, I'll bring it up. It was, I guess, a bigger title. I guess it was Star Wars. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Mine's just a little I mean, it's not really. I mean, cuz I've never seen like much gameplay for it yet. Um, but probably and I got to get that I got to scratch that itch for a shooter looter, and Arc Raiders is probably the most fitting
Oh yeah.
um
Uh huh.
for that. But I've never seen much of it, and I can probably almost guarantee it's not gonna come out next year because they just haven't talked about it at all. Um, so it might be a 2024 release, but I do want to play Arc Raiders. If you haven't seen nothing about it, it's kind of like a Battlefront meets Destiny, because of some of the people from old Dice, that left and kind of made their own studio, or at least some of the heads of that studio. Obviously that doesn't always mean magic, but it could possibly be some magic. Obviously, people are very mixed on Callisto Protocol. Um, but sometimes people can enjoy it. I'm one of those people that enjoyed it, so hopefully, Arc Raiders can kind of fit that bill for me. Again, they have it expected for 2023, but I highly doubt it comes out in 2023. Um, Another one of those games that I was like very interested in, but I don't really know. I guess too much about it yet. But I guess
Well, I
no.
mean, as a shooter, it showed off a lot of like interesting ideas that you don't see in most shooters. Like Battlefield is the only ones
Mm-hmm,
that has destruction like that.
mm-hmm.
Um, and it's third person, right? I thought it
Yeah,
was
it's third person. It's not. It's
yeah,
not. It's
it's
not a
third
first person
person,
situation. Yeah.
but it showed like more open world,
Mm-hmm.
well, big open areas, kind of like Destiny, Cosmodrome. So realistically, you have like Destiny, Ghost Recon Wildlands, and then like the Division that occupy that space, and like
Mm-hmm.
we haven't had a new one in a long time. So if this is better than those games. Like hopefully they learned a lot from those games and can actually uh do it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that for me, that's what I saw that looks good. I agree though. I doubt it will actually come out in 2023 because just like it looks ambitious and they probably should
Mhm.
take more time if they need it. But we'll see.
Yeah, and there was another game. I'm trying to figure out the name of it, and that's what I was kind of talking about. The one that was the second game. It's like called like the Devil Inside, not Inside Me. It's like
Oh, the Devil in Me? No, not Devil in Me. That's
um,
the Until Dawn game.
it's the one where it's like a side scroller.
Yeah.
It's like now I can't remember the game. It was showed off by Sony. Mm, I don't remember the name of that game. Shoot, now I'm kind of upset. Give me a sec.
The Little Devil. Oh
Little
no,
Devil.
Little Devil Inside.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's confusing because the Until Dawn people just got dropped a game called The Devil in Me, I think.
Right. So the Little Devil Inside is the game that I'm interested in playing as well. It seems like it has a really captivating story, or at least like set pieces and like overall world building that I'm really wanting to interested in like seeing and kind of getting to know a little bit more about. It had a really cool scene with the big cat, and I was like, this scene is very interesting. So that is a game that I was like interested in anticipating. Hopefully that comes out in 2023. Smaller indie but overall they, Sony got a really good um A&R. Like they have they just have one of the better eyes for good games. Like when they pick something, nine times out of 10 people enjoy it. Like Stray, which I did not think was gonna be a good game, but people sung its praises. It was on multiple game of the year or whatnot. And when Microsoft does it, it just doesn't work out. So games that they usually choose and pick and show on like a higher level tend to actually work because they're actually enjoyable games. I don't know who they go out and have go research games to showcase and present, but when they do, they come with some heat. Can't be said same thing can't be said unfortunately for um Microsoft, but that's okay. I mean, some people just are better at other things. So that is the game that I'm also looking forward to. And last but not least, of course, I'm gonna go with Resident Evil 4 remake. I played that game 6 to 7 times already, and I'm still looking forward to playing it again in the remake version. I don't want to pay $70, but it's a remake at least, and they didn't just make it HD, so it's gonna be what it is. Gonna be. It is what it is. I'm very much so a big fan of horror games. I find them to be quite enjoyable. Survival horror is my favorite. So I'm eating with Resident Evil 4 remake, and then I'm gonna eat some more with their Dead Space remake. So, and then they got Dead Island 2, which unfortunately with the bombastic over the top stuff, Dead Island 2 always had that. But it is starting to dissuade me from being interested. I enjoy that type of combat and style, but I think Dying Light 2 just did it better. They made it more human, but they also made it fun and enjoyable. Parkour system. Like Dead Island 2 does none of that. So I'm just trying to make sure they have something that's useful outside of like I'm not playing another Dead Rising ever. I liked them before because they were enjoyable at the time. And that formula had to change. And unfortunately, they couldn't figure out a good change for Dead Rising. It was arcadic. It was a mall. You went around, beat stuff up. It was very arcade style gameplay. They tried to switch up and make it more, give it a story, give it a background, give it some more depth, and it didn't work out. The time system was their biggest component. They kind of messed the time system up in the last two games. So I don't. Dead Island 2 had that same thing. It had what Dead Rising had, but it had everything dead. Dang, Dying Light. All these freaking dead, die, dead, die. I'm like, bro, these names starting to get confusing. Dying Light was the evolution of Dead Island. Why would I go back to play the original when this one is much better and it has more components that I enjoy? But again, you can't always beat the original, so I have to give it a fair shot. But overall, I think they just graphically enhanced it and kept the same gameplay underneath, which is fine. But in my case, I need something new. That's not worth $70. So, might be a skip or a wait till sale. But I don't know why the remakes are going to get all my money, but they are. So, anywho's, that's my most anticipated games. Any other things that we didn't mention that you guys saw was like, might be interesting. I know there's the bigger ones.
Final
Hogwarts
Fantasy,
Legacy,
top of the list.
Zelda,
Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
7, 16.
Yeah.
I know Jayla waiting on Kingdom Hearts 4. Zelda on the Steam Deck update.
I forgot all about that, man.
I forgot
Jayla,
about
you still
that
in that group? How they feeling, man? How they feeling about the wait? Did you drop any more paintings or pictures for y'all? keep y'all highly anticipated. Please be excited. Please be excited for the announcement of that other announcement. Please be excited.
Maybe please be excited for this announcement of this demo that actually got the DLC of Kingdom Hearts 4 in the game that you just can't play yet. You gotta wait till Kingdom Hearts 4 come out. They give you a trailer in that mode.
You know they gonna give you 2 prologues. $50. $50, please.
This trailer, bro. Come buy the $60 game to get this 5-second trailer.
Did he say what this saga called? Like what one the first one, like the Darkseeker saga?
Sound, man. I don't even know what they're doing.
Man, it sounds like they
mad I drove through. I drove through a polar vortex for that game, man. I got let down.
Oh my god! No, when you first beat it, you was like, "This is a good god doggone game."
I did not say that. I did not say that. I know I ain't say that because I was sick about the ending.
You said it was straight into the ending.
I mean, dude, I seen what was going on with that game, bro. I'm just looking like, man, this reminds me of Kingdom Hearts 1. It ain't nothing going on. They keep popping up in the world, so but like, yeah, you gonna lose yourself, bro. All right, I ain't finna fight you though. Peace out. I'm like, dude, like,
I ain't finna fight you though.
I ain't finna fight you though. Your face, and I fight you. Out of here. That's all that game was, man.
Oh man, the evolution of the fall of Kingdom Hearts with Jalen has been hilarious.
Bro, that game hurt me.
But they also got, Suicide Squad. We're not discounting any of these game people. Understand that these are highly anticipated. I don't know for everybody, but for at least me, a lot of these games are highly anticipated. It's just the ones that, don't get no shine. Resident Evil Remake, obviously, gonna get shine. Dead Space Remake gonna get shine. But Atomic Heart, the games that I mentioned, Little Devil Inside, those games don't really get mentioned a lot, but, you're gonna get some heavy hitters. You know something? I've been looking at more and more of Now I haven't been looking at more and more, but I think when I first seen Skull and Bones, I was a lot more harsh. Skull and Bones don't sound like it's gonna be a bad game. It's just gonna be a game that is not. If they don't add combat, like actual on land combat, it's gonna be a problem. So they need to add it. I think they should push it back and add it, because people are going to just keep hampering for it. They're gonna want it. So I just think that if they want the game to actually succeed, do not add it as update. You have to have a game finished, or have content in it before you ship. I don't want them to not succeed, and I'm sick of waiting for games to get better to play them. So just do what you're supposed to do and add the combat. Delay it another year. Nobody cares. But yeah, those are anticipated games for us. If you got some that you guys think we missed, let us know. But that's the ones that we are anticipating. And but yeah, what else? What else? What else? Holiday gifts. Holiday gifts for gamers. It's right on the money. It's gonna come out on Monday, so yeah, I got some time to figure it out. But I kind of default to Xbox currency, man. If I got a gamer in my family or myself, like the games I want, I buy. Now, if you got a broke family member, that's a little bit different. If you got family members that are younger that don't have a job, um, and they're anticipating certain games that they haven't been able to play yet,
He
that's a
said,
little
bro.
bit different. But if you got a
Broke
wife
boy.
or you got a girlfriend, significant other, and you're truly a gamer, you don't just play 2K. And I'm sorry, I'm gonna keep disassociating y'all because y'all not gamers. Madden players
Bro,
and
you called
2K
him broke.
players are not gamers, bro. They're just people that play simulation games. That's not a gamer to me. It's somebody that plays them. I'm not saying you can't play those games and play others, but if that is what you solely possess a gaming console for, you are not a gamer to me. You're just someone that plays simulation. You enjoy a sport. You enjoy playing simulation of said sport. That is not a big difference to being a. That's not a big difference to me. So, you're just someone that enjoys sports and decided that you want to interact with said sport. That's not a gamer. So my opinion, anybody that's playing those games, obviously, a person can buy them any game truly outside of those two games, and they'll probably give it a shot. Probably not gonna play it and beat it, but they probably might give it a shot. So I disassociate y'all because that's like gonna muddy the waters. But if you're getting someone that's truly a gamer, probably anticipates games and purchase them, what do you truly get someone like that? Like, uh, it's really hard to buy gifts for me, and that's why I was trying to figure out because my wife she confused when it comes to that stuff. She give me novelty things because it's like harder to do that than to actually buy me a game because I always got what I want. So, what's your thoughts on it? On buying gamers gifts
Yeah,
related
if
to
it's
gaming?
anything like I'm interested in, it's usually something like I don't want people to. Well, and not to say I don't want people to buy me gifts for games. It's just like it's a lot harder because either I already bought the game, like, oh, don't buy me Final Fantasy, I already bought it. Don't buy me uh whatever because I already bought it and played it. Like, don't buy me Spider Man because those games generally gamers are already up on and they get them, especially during Christmas time. It's like no games come out like in December; they all come out in November or earlier. So I've likely already picked it up. If anything, it's like just give me, like I said, currency. I'll take Xbox credit, PlayStation credit,
Yeah,
stuff like that.
wait for a
But
sale on
usually,
something
I
you've
I
missed.
use
Yeah,
yeah, usually just like for my wife, I tell her to buy me other stuff, clothes or other gifts that she can think of outside of my hobby. Because since it's my hobby, like nobody knows it better than me.
right. So, and that's my question. Do y'all end up just getting socks and drawers and t-shirts, or like? I mean, if you got a
Nah,
significant other, I'm not trying to like your mom and stuff. I don't know. I mean, mom's usually always going to get you something like. I guess let me categorize it. If you're younger and you're a younger listener, I'm glad you're listening, but this might not be the pod for you. But if you're like 10 to 15, 16, maybe they can get away with buying you actual games, right? Games that you might anticipate and you might want to play that you haven't been able to buy because, again, you're 10 to 15. It's not like you got money to go out and splurge and buy games you want. Sometimes you might have a job and around that age, but it's like around the late area, 15, 16. Which I don't even think you can work if you're not 18. I'm not sure no more.
Depending on the state, like
Yeah,
16 is usually, yeah.
yeah, 16 I think is usually the age. So that time that those people I understand buying gifts that are games and buying consoles that are games and maybe buying additional a controller because yours is busted or whatever the case may be, you might want a backup. Those are fine gifts, but it's when you get past that age where you're now you're buying your own games and you're buying your own stuff. When people purchase things for you, it's more than likely going to be a gift card or something of that nature. So, it's kind of I want to categorize those individuals. Those are fine. Then you get to us, and like from that to like 20, 25, 28, it's really hard to say anything that you want to play and you haven't already played, and then you're just waiting for something that you know your wife bought and open it up on Christmas or whatever. It's like, or your significant other bought, and now you gotta wait for it to actually be played on Christmas when I probably gonna have the time this weekend. So you might as well just hand it to me. Stop playing. I already know what it is. So it's like it's weird, right? I don't know. What you ever thought about
and the
that,
older
Jalen?
that you get,
Yeah, I mean, my thing is like with games and stuff. Like, if somebody buy you a game, like you said, if I know you finna give me this game, so don't just, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather get it now. I got time to play it now. The game just came out. I don't want to wait till Christmas. You already know what you got. Then on top of that, like in my experience, when I had got a game and stuff like that, I was less compelled to trade the game in because it had quote unquote sentimental value to it. So that add like another type of a layer of it that I feel like I had to keep the game or whatever, even though I didn't really, you know what I'm saying? It's Uncharted
you
4.
gotta
Like I'm
keep
not
Far
going.
Cry 4.
Yeah, she like, no, don't trade the game in that I paid $60 for. And I'm like, well, I mean, like, don't you want the gift to keep on giving? Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I don't,
The gift
just
to
don't give me
keep
games
on
no more.
giving. Oh, that's nasty.
Yeah,
Gift to
it's,
keep on giving. That's a nasty
it
one. I
is.
see it. I get it though.
Yeah,
You
it's
eating?
going
You
to the next
eating? I
game.
hear you. I hear you.
I'm like, I don't ever personally ask for games no more because I'm like, if I ain't got the game now by myself, chances
Yeah.
are y'all know how I am. I ain't gonna play the game. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so,
And
yeah, I
even with like
mean,
gift cards, a lot of people feel like that's not personal enough, so they
No, it's
don't
not. They don't
like
want to
that
do it.
either.
So, but the games
So
are expensive, so that's what makes me mad. Cause I'd be like, bruh, I don't want to pay for the games, but at the same time, I don't want a digital one. So it's hard. I like just give me some GameStop like gift cards, but at the same time, maybe you don't want to buy from there. They got better sales somewhere else. So it's hard to say don't buy me games because it's an expensive hobby, but it's also hard to say what you want them to buy you. And
yeah,
if you're smart and conscious about your video game habit and understanding that games go on sale and like they're not, you can wait a month or two and the game will be on sale. You don't want your partner or your loved one to go out and buy a game that's $70 when you know it's 40 here on sale or something, like, because they don't know,
yeah,
and you don't want to tell them, hey, it's $40 here, you might want to go buy it now because you know they got it, and now you just give me the game. Like, it's so weird how gaming and work stuff and stuff like that. So it's hard to say don't buy me nothing on gaming and just buy me some novelty stuff, but I think it's easier for them. They don't really understand that this is like a, first off, it's an expensive hobby. Second off, it's more of like on demand. When you want to play something, it's not like you want to sit around and wait for the game to marinate in under the tree or whatever until you can play it. You don't really want to wait for a gift or a happy birthday, because I'm like, unless the game come out on my birthday, you know what I'm saying? Then no, just buy me something. Like, that's not like a thing. So I don't know. I just chalk it
yeah,
up to a difficult thing. As gifting gamers gifts is hard. That's it. It's not gonna work. Or
and like you said, as you get older, gaming gets expensive, and just getting older in general, like gifts for an adult are more expensive. Because like if you're a kid, you can get away with like spending $30 and buying like a couple action figures and give it to them.
yeah.
But when you're an adult, is things are more expensive. Like if somebody gonna buy you a watch or some shoes or whatever, those couple $100 right there.
Hmm.
So I mean, for me, we end up like I try to get some nice gifts we exchange some nice gifts on Christmas Day, but the biggest gift might be like planning a trip or
Ah.
something like that, where
Mhm.
you can justify spending. Oh, we're gonna spend a couple $100s, go to Chicago for the weekend, and blah 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 like that. Versus like, ain't nobody gonna want to buy you a PS5 for Christmas. Like, I mean, your wife ain't gonna buy you a PS5.
Nah,
Uh,
heck no. Especially when you got them all. It's like, I don't. That's the problem. Like, I overindulge sometimes. So then when I have everything, I'll be like, I don't really need anything. And I leave little room for her to buy something because I'm just like, if I want it, I'm gonna get it, right? And then if I can't afford it, that means I made the conscious decision that it was not worth it, right? So I don't want you going out to buy it if it's not worth it, or if I want a sale on it, if I want to wait for it. Um, it's rarely a time where both meet, where I still anticipate something but can't afford it, or can't afford to budget for it, or can't afford to get it at a later time. Like, there's never a road where one thing can't be compromised. So it's hard to say get this for me because I don't really need it, or it's not beneficial to me in that big of a way. I mean, I could tell her to go buy me hard drive space, but I'm just like, yo, I delete a game. I'm not gonna waste. I know I'm not gonna pay more money for something, and it's like the principle come into play because I'm like, yeah, you going out to spend $200 for a terabyte of storage or 2 terabytes of storage, and yeah, you help me out. You know what I'm saying? But I just feel bad about it because it's like I don't even want to pay that much for it, And I'm like, no, no. If I'm gonna buy it, it's gonna be on sale and it's gonna be very cheap. So, I don't want you to have to spend, raked up prices or me associating that gift. So, yeah, buying gifts for gamers is just hard. So just stick to buying like really novelty. I like a lot of anime. I like a lot of I wouldn't call them action figures, but a lot of like, I guess they are action figures, whatever. Or what do they call them? They not. I don't
I
know.
mean, they're just figures because most of them they're
They
not like they're kind of
yeah
like statues and stuff like
yeah
that.
they're
Yeah.
statues. They don't move around. You ain't playing with them. They're figures. So I like those types of things. The games that I find that's prominent or anime I find prominent. Um, and I like those types of situations so I can display stuff. I'm doing something really cool with all my old boxes that I have for all my technology. So it's not like she can't figure out how to be creative within the gaming space. Like, she bought me that little clock I remember, or my disc plates. So where she got one for um Demon Slayer. So she buy me like stuff that I'm not gonna buy myself, but I can display and I can say, hey, she
Mhm.
bought me this, that, and third, because she knows what type of stuff I love, and like she bought me that Naruto blanket. So stuff like little stuff like that, but
Something
never
you actually gonna
something.
keep.
Yeah, never something that I'm gonna in this gaming world. Everything is ever changing. Prices go up and down. It feels like it's never something you could pinpoint. Yeah, you might buy you a controller, but I got plenty of them. So it's like, just, just, when I think about it, um, I can see why a lot of people get gift cards.
Mhm.
I can see why I'm like, yeah, I just got your little gift card because I don't really know what you want, and that's pretty much it. Like, I appreciate you, dog. You know what I'm saying? Now I got now these funds tied up forever. I can't never spend them.
Mhm.
Yeah, you gotta give me a GameStop gift card or Amazon gift card. They're like, yeah, I can buy a game on there. Resale value still there. Yeah, but that's when you really start cooking with grease. Like, make sure that mug a physical boy and give me some physical games. But yeah. Anything else on that topic before we move on?
Uh, I think the only thing I say is kind of just agreeing with y'all is just that I think games don't hold as much like sentimental value, and I usually like gifts that have some sort of like sentiment. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
They gotta stick with the
even
figurines, man. Stick with something.
yeah, I mean even like clothes or something like that, like I
Yeah.
mean, I like clothes and stuff too, but I feel like, if, like Shorty I'm with, like, give me like a shirt or like some shoes or something, like, yeah, she got me this or that, like, you're not gonna like wear it out. She know my type of style, or she sees something that I might not see, so I can kind of try something new. You know what I mean? So that's what
Yeah. Put it
that's
together.
why I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I think
but
those
yeah,
are the best gifts. So gifts for gamers kind of fall into that same thing where it's not really going to be truly a game gift. It's going to be like just, standard gifts for your boyfriend, significant other, or girlfriend. Um, but they can be gaming or anime related in case they enjoy that. Um, I've seen some really dope, small symbolism Dragon Ball Z and Naruto jackets. I hate when it's over branded and it's like obviously Naruto or some Dragon Ball, but if it's like very slight, very small,
Man, you
and
don't
I can
want
get
a
away with
Akatsuki
it,
hoodie?
nah, G, nah, I'm not going over the
hey, the
top.
Akatsuki stuff tight though. Like they stuff subtle, even though it just got the quads on there. They stuff is subtle. Like,
No, no, that's what I'm saying. Subtlety, not over branding, not like his whole
yeah,
face on your back. Something like, small, like a symbolism, like the symbols. That's what I enjoy, the symbols.
yeah,
It
yeah,
can
them
be
is
like
tough.
that. So something I can actually wear out and not everybody not recognize it, but the people that know, they know. They be like, oh, I see you. All right, yeah, my way.
Show me your
But
new jutsu, bro.
yeah,
That'd be
so,
funny.
you see me, baby. That job be funny, dude. I'd be like, people be looking at me. Sometimes I'd be wearing like some of the shirts, and I don't even be thinking about it because it's like I just be chilling. So and they be like, nice shirt, nice shirt. I'd be like, what you talking? Oh, and then I look down and I see, okay, so it got My Hero on it. Like, oh, you watch that too?
You ready for the use Amaterasu?
Yeah, something like that on there. But yeah, but anywho's, let's move on to our next topic. Um, we want to talk about multiplayer spinoffs. I know that we recently got announced a what was that? What was that spinoff? It was Horizon. Horizon is getting a spinoff. Um, I don't know. I mean, Monster World, Horizon sounds fun to me. What you think, John? I don't know if you play Monster
Uh,
Hunter. I mean, not Monster Hunter, but Horizon. I think you did.
I played the first one. I haven't played Forbidden West. But yeah, Gorilla said that they're working on a multiplayer game based in the Horizon world. And I mean, I think that's cool. It's always cool to see more of like, games that you like. I just think that multiplayer is such a weird thing where it's like you take a single player game and like, is it gonna be just that single player idea in a, co-op situation or what? Because I think that multiplayer games require just different. They have different priorities. Like, I'm if I'm playing a multiplayer game, I'm not gonna be hunting deer and picking up flowers like you do in the single player game. So I think they just got to balance it right. But I guess my thing is that there are not that many good spin-offs that go from like a single player game to a multiplayer one. Like I was struggling to think of them. Like God of War was terrible. People like Last of Us, it was all right. Tomb Raider was terrible.
I think the only
Um,
ones that did it well was GTA, and going
mhm,
to online, but they had it like a separate thing,
yeah,
like Red Dead
even Red Dead
Online.
2 is bad.
Yeah, Red Dead Online was bad because they didn't really get it right with that one. So there is a high chance that it fails. I'm not saying that it ain't. It's a high chance that it fails. But if they get it right, I think they have the concept to be enjoyable. I think this happens when most of the time, obviously, Red Dead and GTA were huge successes, so the online component kind of was always going to be planned, but sometimes companies have to pivot, and because of lack of sales or the inability to really serve the type of or to recoup the amount spent. So I think Horizon is unfortunately in that area simply due to the type of games that come out around and just um the overshadowing sometimes that happens. It happened twice already, so they might be in a space now where they don't really have a choice, and that's
Mhm.
interesting. It's like I wonder how I wonder how that looks. But overall, if they were to just simply create bigger monsters, allow us to kind of gang up and do our thing with the arrows, because everybody can do it. I think that'd be a fun game. I think they have to be very strategic on how they do it, because it's not like the world is small. It's just that we only been to two areas, certain areas. Like they talk about the Forbidden
Mhm.
West, they talk about this, and it's like, um, I mean that area still felt like it was restrained. Like if you have like a large open world game with like monsters and creatures that you haven't seen before because they have plenty of that to explore, that could be really cool. And they can kind of create a system that that um that really builds upon that. But it's hard to say whether or not it's going to be good or not. But I know what I can say is that Gorilla has tried, and um, unfortunately, they kind of failed at probably meeting sales goals. But they've made multiplayer games in the past. If it was anybody with the pedigree to kind of do that, it would be them to me.
Mhm.
Killzone was not the greatest, but it was functional. So they have that skill set in the back of their mind. So um, we'll just have to wait and see. You know,
You got any multiplayer spinoffs that you like, Jaden?
he had to like that Final Fantasy one, the Cydia.
It's
I
it's
mean,
not related to anything, so it's kind of like its own thing. But yeah,
yeah, I
Well,
mean, I
so
was thinking more
would you
so.
consider okay, yeah. Well, I mean,
I was
sorry,
about
go
to say
ahead. I
15.
ain't want to call you off.
Like,
To cut you off.
no, I was about to say like I don't know if I really played anything besides like maybe like Final Fantasy 15
hmm
when they put their
oh yeah, that
multiplayer
had
mode
the
in.
multiplayer.
Yeah, and that junk was cheeks, bro. I was just like, man, cut this out, bro. I'm like,
What
man, I see
about
what I was trying to do, but it ain't working. Like, cut it off right now.
what about Metal Gear Solid Online?
Uh, that
I
was
just,
good. I actually didn't play the one on five that much, but the first one that they did was on three, no four, and that was really popular for a long time.
Hmm.
It's just five, people take off.
I mean, I never played that one. I think the Uncharted one was okay. I mean,
Uncharted
I ain't
4
feel like
was
that one.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, Uncharted 4 was okay. I didn't feel like they was doing anything that was just like heinous or just horrible and everything. Like I see what they're trying to
Hmm.
go for, and I think it played fine. And I'm trying to think what other. I guess
I
they
mean, the
never really had
biggest
any
one
like
that ever
multiplayer ones.
succeeded in is Gears of War.
Mm, okay, yeah, I mean I could see that, but
That was the biggest one to me outside of GTA that succeeded in like a large way. I mean, Call of
yeah,
Duty
and I
can be
mean
considered that, but honestly, that's a multiplayer game first.
yeah, man. Yeah, I don't know. I ain't really got any that like really stick out to me. The only one I actually put a little bit of time. I mean, I guess I played Gears of War or whatever. I wasn't a huge fan, but I just played it just because. But
Hmm.
GT, I didn't put a lot of time in that. But like I said, Final Fantasy 15 was like the main one that like really stuck out to me. And I
Do
think it
y'all
felt
can?
like that because it felt like it was forced, if that makes sense. So it didn't
Hmm.
leave a good impression on me.
Okay,
And
so
yeah,
let's categorize this first before we move on. Do you think a game that had a multiplayer component already in the works can be considered in this category, or should they have that? Should a multiplayer spinoff be something that was thought of after the world was built, like where we wasn't introduced as like a hand in hand, like Halo?
I think after
no,
personally.
yeah, it has to be like the
So
sequel
Gears
now
of
has
War would not
multiplayer.
fit, right?
Yeah, I think the first game had multiplayer, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, if the game was a single player game the first time and then they added multiplayer, well, I don't know, because I would say The Last of Us fits where the multiplayer was like so separate from the single player. that it kind of felt like a different game, but people still liked it.
But it came
So
out
I don't know.
so late after the game already came out. So I feel like it was just like, hey, we want y'all to kind
It
of
came
go
out
back to
after.
playing this game.
Yeah, it came out
Yeah, it
after.
didn't come out
Oh
with
yeah,
it. It
yeah.
was like,
I guess if it come out at any point after the main game, like GTA did.
Yeah.
yeah,
I
I feel like
mean,
GTA fit that category for sure, for sure. Like it clearly came out way after. So,
yeah. I
um,
mean, and the introduction to the series was like not that, and then the series spinoff was GTA Online. So that's why I say GTA works. I just don't
Mhm.
say Halo or Gears work because they were kind of like in its inception, it had a multiplayer component built in. Um, I'm
And Jalen's
trying.
favorite will be Mass Effect.
man, that
Mm,
multiplayer was forced too, bro. I could tell that mode was forced. I just Joy used
Yeah.
to be playing that. I'm like, man, please cut this game off,
are you
bro. It's
talking about
2011.
Andromeda?
Nah,
Nah,
it's Mass
3.
Effect 3.
Oh, thought you were talking about them stiff animations. Um, I'm trying to think of what like a good spin-off game that came out for multiplayer that was like associated with the like not an entity but an actual IP. I mean, you could say Smash, but not really. I mean, it's like associated with a bunch of different IPs. That worked out. Um, I don't know. Because would you consider Smash a spinoff?
No, because it was its
I'm
own
fighting that.
game when it came out.
No. But this is
Yeah.
gonna be its own game, right?
Well, I just mean that Smash was like it's a fighting game. Like it was no I mean how to put it. It it has
It
Mario,
has
but
nothing that was
is it
built
a Mario
inside of
game?
it.
Like it's not it doesn't belong to a single franchise. Like it's
Yeah, it's just
Pokemon,
I get you. I
Mario,
get you. I
yeah,
get
yeah.
you. Um, I don't know. I think there's a lot of great multiplayer games that are associated with other IPs out there. I just think that there's
Yeah. I
some. I
just
don't
think
know
of
about the
like
spinoff.
stuff like Dead Space 2 multiplayer where it's like clearly y'all added this
Yeah, it was
completely
terrible.
separate thing to this single player game for no reason. Resident Evil too, because they always do that. Like they have their little
Oh yeah,
multiplayer mode
like more
that
Resident
nobody
Evil
want to
5
play.
Marines or something like that.
Yeah,
That was interesting too.
So
Um,
like, well, never mind.
what?
Nah, I was finna ask something. I guess technically a little bit reverse, but um, I was gonna say like, but this not necessarily a dedicated like a video game like IP. Like I was about to say something like Naruto. You got the show, and then they make all these like type of games, and then but it don't got like it's like a video game Inception, if that makes sense. Like it's start off as a show, and they put Naruto in these different type of game
Yeah,
genres.
yeah. I guess it has to. I think Josh's point was that it was a game that we were introduced to, or an IP that we were introduced to, and then that game in itself was a single player game at first, and then as time went on, this IP created a separate spinoff, and that falls into a multiplayer space. So, um, it'll be like the same
yeah.
thing
Like
as
if
Uncharted and having that Uncharted Lost Legacies, but that was associated as a multiplayer spinoff. But it's not. It's just another single player game with different stories. So it has to have
yeah,
its
like
own
they add
branding. Yeah.
a battle royale mode to Jedi Survivor. Like I don't know if I want that.
Yeah. Um.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. I don't really see that many being that good, honestly, Josh. I mean, GTA was the biggest one that did it. Yeah. I mean, I see a lot that I don't even know. I don't even know many that failed. Maybe because I don't remember them.
No, it was a lot of them. Like every EA game did it. Uh, like I
For
mentioned,
real.
Dead Space, Mass Effect. I, they probably added some to other games like Mirror's Edge and stuff like that. So,
Do
but
you
they
feel like?
forgettable. That's the problem. Hopefully, Horizon not forgettable.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's tough. That's a tough one. That's pretty tough. I ain't gonna hold you. But hopefully, I mean, why I still got Killzone Shadowfall. I need to pop this in and play it. I don't even think I've ever played this game. I think I picked
No,
it up.
you don't.
I don't need to. You're right. I don't need to.
You got to be Sonic Frontiers, man. That game better.
I do. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Okay. Well, multiplayer spinoffs. We're looking for GTA or better, y'all. So, just hopefully Horizon can deliver.
Nah.
What? Don't be laughing.
You
man.
said better than GTA, man.
GTA Online gotta be better, man.
Bro, you know, half the people that play 2K play GTA Online, bro. The non-gamers.
Dog. Well, if they play GTA, then they're not a non-gamer. They playing a game. I can't even literally. It's only for simulation games. Like if you're playing GTA, you're a gamer. You have some inkling of a game that you have to play, that you have to either learn new mechanics or learn how to do something. But other than translating how you watch a sport to how you play that sport is not a gamer to me. That is a simulation player. But if you really can't simulate GTA, so that's a game to me.
Everybody that plays Sims out there ain't playing games either because they simulate in real life. Let them know. Or people that play Tractor Simulator.
Yeah, I agree. Them are simulation games. Like Sims 4 is simulator. That is not a game. So
That's why it's called Sims.
Yeah, that's why it's called Sims. So those aren't gamers to me. Those are a simulation players. They play simulations. They love them, and that's fine. You can play simulations. Don't call yourself a gamer though. That's not a gamer. So I just disassociate them. But somebody that plays GTA, they have to be a gamer. That's just facts. But obviously, you want to broaden your horizon. You don't want to just play one game. You don't want to just play Minecraft your entire life. But if that's what your prerogative is, and you only enjoy one game, that is your prerogative. But it just can't be 2K or Madden. Those are not games. That's just my opinion. So moving on, Joker first look. I don't know. I feel like he gonna go crazy making this person. I just don't want nothing. Why am I I'm more focused on his mental health than anything. I feel like I'm nervous about that, and that's weird to be for an actor because I feel like I when I was looking at stuff about it, I was like, I hate method acting. I hate when stuff happens. Like this is a very troubled character, right? And you're taking it on. I can't enjoy the movie like I want to simply because I know what he's probably going through just trying to create the movie because I feel like he's definitely a method actor and that kind of like ruins the art for me. So honestly, I'm just rooting for him to survive. That's that's the truth. Like I swear, bro. Like when I look at that type of stuff, I just be like, I just hope he is okay when everything is all said and done. And I don't even care if his portrayal is good or not. I just don't want something to happen. Like obviously stuff like that happens, and it's just weird, bro. I don't know. I would rather keep the actor than the movie. So that's how I'm in it at this point. And if it comes out good, fine. But I saw what happened with the first one. I really don't find that putting somebody back into that space for entertainment is cool, especially when they're a type of actor that he is. I don't like method acting. I don't think it's healthy. So yeah, it's a little different than what you guys probably were thinking about me talking about the Joker, but honestly, that's how I feel. So I watched the first one. I thought he did a great job, but it's not okay to put somebody in that space for entertainment, especially when they can't. It don't seem like he has much of a switch. Like even when he's, and I don't know, you can joke and play around on TV and you could be hurting, really, for real, for real. There's plenty of suicide that has occurred this week that is very unfortunate. Rest in peace to Twitch. But you can be happy and excited on the outside, but something happens and you're not truly happy on the inside. But even when he is out and about, he does not look happy. So it just makes me worried for him as an actor, playing these type of weird roles. Joker is a very manic and crazy character to play, and all that did was solidify more when I seen the first look. So,
Yeah.
I don't really.
Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix is a good actor, and but like you said, I think method acting is, it's not like weird to like be really good at acting, but the stuff that actors put themselves through to like fit in the role just seems unnecessary.
Unnecessary.
Especially like for him and Christian Bale and stuff like them. Oh, I'm gonna lose 100 pounds for this movie, and then my next movie I'm gonna put on 250 pounds. And it's like that's, and they're getting coached and stuff like that, but that's not healthy for your life to be just like changing, like swinging back and forth like wildly with the things that you do just for like a project. And it's not really necessary. Like I think we get it. He's crazy. He's gonna do crazy stuff in the movie, but I don't know. And people always complain like they co-stars and stuff like, why you gotta act weird on our lunch break? Just he done, but that's how it be.
Yeah, it's very weird. I just don't like that type of acting, and I find it to just be more counterproductive than anything. You don't know what that individual is going to be left with when he's done. Everybody knows the story of Heath Ledger, so it's just weird. So I don't know. I don't like it, but I'm not going to watch the movie. I just like I said, I'm more rooting for one thing and one thing only. The one thing I'm rooting for is for him to come out of this in one tact and healthy and safe and a good headspace. So that's my first look at the Joker. Like, I'm not itching to see him in that space. I can watch the movie and I'm fine, but itching to see him on set being manic, being behind the scenes stuff, it's like giving me it's like taking a trip to the butcher shop. Like, no, I don't want to see how the meat is cut up and how you kill the cow and how you split it apart, but I do want a burger. So it's very weird in that way for me. That's why a lot of people kind of steer towards the vegan stuff, but I don't know. It's just a interesting take on acting. But that, if you want to check it out, Joker's First Look, you can check it out. I think it's just like an image of him. So you can take a look at that. Next up, we got the Steam Deck update. Just talking about the Steam Deck as we had it. We was going to do a segment about the best tech that we purchased this year. By far, it's probably going to be the Steam Deck. I don't think you guys purchase much tech outside of that, to be honest. I don't know. That's good. And just a good question. I know, Josh, I think you upgraded your system, but I think that was last year. Your PC.
Yeah, my PC upgrade was last year, and I haven't bought a new phone or anything because like all my devices work good, and Steam Deck been pulling double duty. So
yeah. I think the Steam Deck kind of wins on all fronts.
I will say, like, I'm surprised that they actually kept up with demand because, like, with the pandemic and like with the demand for high ticket tech items, they actually did it. Like every day I see online, like somebody got their new Steam Deck, and
that's because they didn't sell it through other people. They didn't sell it through other people.
That is true. They had to worry about scalpers, one per account.
Yep.
Yeah.
They did not. I think that is a very good way to go about it. But everybody is for the money. and not Steam. Steam is for the gamers, and that's why everybody has been able to keep up with demand. It hasn't felt wonky to get one. One per account is fine and dandy. You have to have it for you have to have your account for a certain amount of days. But anybody that wanted one in this year could start a Steam account and get one this year. So that is a testament to how well they do their thing. And yeah, it should be praised a lot more than what it is now. Like, people are just throwing it under a rug as if it's not a big deal. But anybody that wanted the Steam Deck got one. And the people that and they probably going to end up opening it up for people to buy two on their system soon. But anybody that wanted a PS5 surely did not get one. And people that wanted an Xbox surely did not get one either. But that is capitalism at your finest. And hopefully we leaving a bunch of scalpers holding the bag at some point. But right now, Steam did it best. But yeah, that was probably my biggest and best one, for sure. I don't really have anything else that I purchased that was huge, and nothing that I was even anticipating that came out that would be huge. It would be a monitor, like an OLED monitor, but honestly, I still did a purchase for a monitor, and it's still not better than the Steam Deck. It's still a good monitor, but it's not better than the Steam Deck. So it still would fall into the Steam Deck, as in like the best technology for this year. So that's what we can call this segment. Best technology of the year. Best technology of the year still has to go to the Steam Deck because we was able to purchase it this year. I think the thing that I was trying to mention within the Steam Deck was how quickly they were doing the updates. How powerful it actually truly is, because I did not expect it to be not super powerful, but it's like powerful enough to run a lot of games. And they were saying that they weren't going to necessarily change, like in the version 2, they're not going to change the specs on it. They're only going to make the battery and the screen better, which is still nice because it tells you what to expect. And it also allows you to not feel like you're going to be left behind for a period of time. Like, the next iteration probably not gonna come out until like 2024, 2025, maybe 2024 more than likely. And that gives you enough time to either say, hey, I want to buy that one, or wait for a significant update to where the point where they're doing a better overall graphics and stuff like that. So that's cool too. It's not leaving you in the dark. You know, there's going to be something that they're going to also continue to support. And as you know, more iterations come out, these things are going to get better and better. And again, it's very much so a powerful handheld.
And PC games don't honestly change that much. Every now and then you get one that like just has high requirements, but it should last a while. And that's good. I mean, it's just Steam has been doing the best as far as like preservation and customization, and Proton doing all the heavy lifting. So,
and it's just the backlog itself. Like, there's plenty of emulation, plenty of games to play on there. Even if you never play a new game on that thing, you still have plenty of things to play. Like, and you also
got infinite Pokemon games to play.
Infinite Pokemon games, infinite everything to play. It's never like a lack of games to play on that system, or that handheld. So, regardless of what you want to play, there is options out there, and this makes the form factor much more digestible. It gives you that community feel. So I wanted to also ask you guys, what's the biggest game you've been playing on there? Probably the most demanding game, and then probably the most laid back game you've played on your Steam Deck. I know the most demanding game as of now has been Sonic Frontiers, and I don't know why, but it's not the most demanding game I've ever played. And on the console itself, like, there's plenty of better games but they're more optimized. So this is the most demanding because it drops frames and Sony runs at like 30 FPS, which still looks good at 800p because it's a smaller device. but you get a lot of foliage and stuff like that. So sometimes it makes a little harder to play. But yeah, what's the most demanding game you probably tried to boot up on your Steam Deck?
I play a lot. Not all of them are optimized, so I don't know if it's just the game or what. But like Gotham Knights, was probably the most recent. I tried Callisto Protocol and it runs like 30 FPS, but for me, it's not at like the quality that I like because you got to use like FSR stuff like that, and I personally don't like using FSR when I play games.
Okay.
But I would say the most. Yeah.
And if nobody knows what FSR is, it's just the fidelity resolution. It's kind of like the DLSS of AMD. But if you don't know what FSR is, just super resolution stuff to help tune up the graphics.
The most impressive game, though, is definitely like God of War 2018, and it ran pretty well. So definitely good. As far as like least demanding, I don't know, probably like a like DS game or something like that. But all the emulators I've played so far ran really well.
Gotcha. Okay. What about you, Jalen? What you been using on you? What you been doing on your Steam Deck?
Bare minimum.
The bare minimums?
Bare minimum.
Sound like Jalen. What's the bare minimums? Pokemon? Emulations? Just emulations?
Emulations.
Okay.
I have a little Pokemon adventure. I think Red Chapter the only game that I've played, the truth be told. Yeah, I ain't played nothing else. I ain't even been on the Steam shop.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing I've played, you should definitely check out the Steam shop, but the biggest thing I've played would have to be still Sonic Frontiers. I don't think I tried anything heavier than that. Yeah, and then like the least thing I've played that was like not so demanding, great battery life, Neon. I think it's called Neon White. Yeah. Neon White was very less demanding, very fluid gameplay, very arcadic. Arcadey, very arcade-like gameplay, and it was just fun to play, and it was very straightforward. All my stuff was mapped correctly, booted up perfectly. Games like Hades, those smaller indies, and I know Steam got a sale going on pretty soon, so I might pick up Stardew Valley, but I don't really want to start that because it ain't nothing but a lot of people like it, but I'm like, this is a time waster, and I probably would rather play Zombie Survivor than that. But I don't know, I might pick up Stardew Valley, but those like smaller games that you can just pick up and play. Honestly, I haven't played my Steam Deck in quite a bit because of the games I've been playing recently, like Callisto and all that. But once all my games that I gotta beat die down, probably in that middle January time, right before February hit, and then again the bangers come out again. But that little January time I have, that's probably when I'm gonna play it a little bit more, because I'm definitely finna beat Need for Speed. I'm definitely gonna beat Crysis, and I'm definitely gonna beat Sonic, and that's gonna leave me with Plague Tales and High on Life. So
yeah,
I had to get through those before.
I still play mine all the time because I'm Dragon's Dogma, Fortnite, Overwatch, all on the Steam Deck, because it's just convenient, and like with the baby, and I got her in the baby carrier, walking around trying to put her to sleep and playing the game for a bit. And y'all know I did get my two Steam Decks this year. So I got my emulation Steam Deck, and I got my Steam game Steam Deck.
My goodness.
Yeah. One for emulation, so I can do all that, janky stuff you gotta do to get these games running. And then my other one is just all Steam games.
Oh man, I like games. What can I say? I like games.
Games.
That's gonna be my thing.
I was trying to get Jalen install the city on there.
Every time
somebody
overspend or do too much, what can I say? I like games. Every time a flash sale come up, what can I say? I like games.
Josh had Hell King. He got 2 Switches and 2 Steam Decks.
Oh my
Somebody stop this
goodness.
baby, man.
Handheld King, man. He over there. What you want? What you want? I got. I'm like, man, that's too many. What? I ain't got that many hands. Tell him, man. Just like Jaylee, you ain't got that many feet. Stop buying them shoes. But you know how that go. You know how that go. But yeah, that's crazy. Okay, well, I think that's pretty much, we went through a lot, but I think the last thing I wanted to say is the worst games we've played before we get up out of here. We're not gonna, not the worst game. I think I said the least game we enjoyed this year, because they're not bad games, people. What we're trying to emphasize is that they did not meet the caliber of game that we played outside of it. So even if they were like, you know, we only played 2 games, God of War and Elden Ring, one of them got to be the least enjoyed. So it's got to be a game like that. So it's not like the game sucked, but it wasn't like the most enjoyable game to play or fun or had them better, most engaging, buggy, stuff like that. So this year, I'm trying to start off first so that way y'all don't put on the spot immediately.
I already got mine.
Oh yeah. You did say you had yours. I think
got ours.
I think
mine's fully locked and loaded, baby.
All right, then let's go with Charles first. Let's go with Josh. You go first. What you got?
Man, I hate I have to do it to you because you mentioned this game earlier today. Mine is because I don't buy the mini games that I don't like. At least I beat them. But Dying Light 2 was the one game that I played like 2 hours, never touched it again. And nah, this ain't for me, dog.
When you bought it, I was like, I don't know if Josh gonna like this, but they did do the things that I said they did. At least when I was telling you, they did the things. It's just that the optimization was poor. Like they did like more stuff about the story. They did more like dynamic gameplay because of all the buildings. They added additional things to get around. It was more interesting, like the zip lines and stuff like that. And they overall didn't do much to the combat in that world, so it didn't feel fun and exciting at the beginning. But once you start getting tools and stuff, that's where the game becomes a little bit more fun. But I 100% agree. The first 2 to 5, probably like the first 10 hours is very much so boring. So that first impression is everything. So if it's
I guess personally, I'm just over zombies.
Yeah, and that could be a other fatigue too. So I agree. Not my highest not my top game of the year for sure, but it's not at least not worst either. So that's good, but definitely not even in the realm of my top 5 for sure. And that's saying something because this was a highly anticipated game for me. I really enjoyed the first one, so they did drop the ball. So I will admit that. That's a fun one. Okay, what about you, Jalen?
Where do I start? Man, they got to be Apex. I mean, Apex, not trash back Apex.
Yeah.
That game, I ain't even gonna cap, bro. That's probably one of the least favorite games I played in 2021. Well, I ain't gonna say that because I did enjoy that at some point in 2021, but definitely in 2022, I think the best thing they did was they implemented that gun game mode. I thought that's probably the most intriguing mode that they probably put in the game for a while. Aside from them remote rings that they used to put in and they used to like spread out kind of or something like that. I thought that's kind of interesting too. But yeah, the gun game mode, definitely enjoyed. I thought that was like a good iteration of the game. You know what they did? Like, give me that. You ain't playing that no more. Go back to the base game. So, I mean, Apex good for it. I think they actually had a working formula that could have just been something similar like a gun game like Call of Duty. It worked well, but they took it away. So I guess that kind of added to the why it's not as good because they further pushing that idea that like we give you something and we take it away, even if it is something that's good, because they don't always put in the best game modes. But yeah, I mean, Apex, we talked about it, time and time again. I think it's kind of hit a little harder because we enjoyed it so much at one point in time, and
Yeah.
they just give me that again. You know what I'm saying? So they just
Yeah.
it
Nah.
ain't nothing, no depth. I mean, it's depth to the game, but they're not doing anything different that makes people want to come back in. At least Destiny. I be getting
Yeah,
Destiny updates
it's
and
not
it's
stale.
like Lightfall. Yeah, they Apex ain't doing that. They like, hey man, look, just come get these $30 skins, and like they got more emphasis on these skins and stuff than they do on the
And
game. And I'm like,
anything, bro. Than anything.
yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, and that's
So
problematic.
that's super problematic. So the game is underlying good, but they have definitely warmed out. They have worn out their welcome. So at this point, there was not a bigger nail in the coffin than when a good game drops, and Overwatch dropped. So it was unfortunate, but that's the truth. Like when you can now apples to apples compare and like really see the differences and like what a game with a good formula can do, but also not berate you with skins and a bunch of junk that you don't necessarily need. It feels fine. Like I feel like they struck a balance when it comes to Overwatch. Obviously, I would prefer like a more of there's still failures in Overwatch, right? But the underlying gameplay is fun enough for me to continue to play. There's still team focus. There's still plenty of things that I complain about. But overall, when another game drops that on the same caliber as you, and it has at least um it doesn't make you spend this amount of money on a certain time on a this FOMO feel, this fear of missing out, this whole thing that kind of has curated over there at Apex is no longer to be seen here. I don't care about it. I don't find their skins to be super enjoyable. I don't find their characters to be like super in depth to me at this point because I just didn't grow. I didn't like build with it. That had a chokehold on me for far too long. I just felt like it was trash. So I quit that game. Like honestly, I haven't played it in a very long time. And I feel good about it. I don't feel like I needed it, and it's a weight off my shoulders for sure. I don't feel like I need to be good at it. I don't feel like I need to have. It wasn't as fun anyway. I have way more enjoyment in Overwatch, and we have something else that can sustain us through this transition, I guess, because Apex was good because it was the only thing around. But once Call of Duty and everything dropped and stuff that was actually enjoyable to play, more and more I just stopped playing it because it's not fun. It's really a headache of a game. And I'm waiting for Titanfall. So once Titanfall come, I go back to Respawn. But right now, Apex Legends is kind of dead to me. Like there's not much that they can do to kind of get me to go back to that game because I've been burned way too long by that game. So I don't even see me booting it up anymore. I deleted it off most of my consoles because I needed space anyway. And I was like, I'm not going to play this game no time soon. So it's not on my Xbox. It's not on my PC. I don't think it's on my PS5 anymore. That's the place where I played it the most. It was on my PS5. I think I deleted it when I played Callisto. So yeah, I am done with it. But I wouldn't consider it my worst game. Still, I just find it to be a non-enjoyable game anymore. Still not my worst though. But I get what your point is too. Still like practices, things, development, reuse, recycle stuff. Not really doing anything new. That is a problem. So still having bugs that haven't fixed and problematic multiplayer and starting a session and having to jump out your party, jump back in your party because it's not working. And you say you look like you're readied up, but you're really not readied up. Bro, I'm so done with all of that garbage. That is like a true dumpster fire of a system over there. So
Now, when it comes to them skins, though, they don't even got crossplay in the game. Come on now, quit playing.
Yeah, it's they do have crossplay, but they don't have cross save.
I mean,
Yeah, cross save.
Yeah, they don't have cross save. So paying that much money and can't even use it on different areas and places. Cross save could be something that make me play it on the Steam Deck, just because I can like play it on the go. But nah, probably not even that, because then I got to invest in it some more, and I don't feel like it. So I don't want to invest any more of my time. I feel like I have a lot more time lately. I beat a lot of games, and I think I'm gonna keep going with that. Overwatch is like very small spurts. It is becoming a little bit more to a kind of time consuming, but at least it's fun in that way. But my game, unfortunately, is gonna have to be and I don't know if it dropped this year. Did it drop this year? I can't say it if it didn't.
It came out. Well, if it's the same game, I think it came out last year. But it's an online game, so
yeah. I don't want to do that to you, but yeah.
Because Apex didn't come out this year, right?
Yeah, Apex didn't come out this year, so it had to be Halo Infinite. I just feel like they squandered a really good, successful launch. And I don't know what's going on over there, but it ain't making games. It ain't being competitive. That's for sure. And that's okay. You know why? Because it kind of gives me the understanding where their mindset lies, and it's fine that they align somewhere else. I'm not saying that they have to be crunch and get stuff out, but for this to be like such a large endeavor, and it to be almost a year, to be a year in and still be in this state. Forge probably did nothing for them. It probably did, but in my opinion, this game is still dead in the water, and it's probably the biggest disappointment, because you think they gonna really pull out all the stops, story wise, pull out all the stops. This is like their biggest one. They delayed it, and it still wasn't great. I'm not saying that it's a terrible game. I'm just saying it's the worst game I played, because of, or the least enjoyed game I played, because there was so much potential there for it to be good, and they let me down at every turn. There was things that they could have implemented. There is things that they could have done to make it more engaging to play. They were either slow on their draw, or they just didn't fix it at all. The inability to create a sense of accomplishment within the game, a sense of bragging rights within the game, a sense of just a lot of things. It just didn't feel like a lot of my defeats and like accomplishments didn't matter much game over game. Like, you didn't stay in a lobby with people. You didn't like beat them until they didn't want to play you no more and they quit the lobby, which is sometimes fine, because you don't want to be toxic, but sometimes it's fun to keep going up against the same people and then whooping them in different ways. But sometimes it's not. So I don't know. It's just that whole thing over there just was not a good setup. So
yeah, it's definitely a big disappointment, because for me, last year was my favorite FPS, because when it came out, it was in a good spot and didn't have much competition, and I just thought if they just keep iterating on that, then it could stay around for a while. But the game didn't get no updates for the longest time, and then when it did, the updates didn't really add much, and now a year later, like, it finally has technically more content, but it's like now you're not even competing with like the games that came out this year. So it's all the laurels you got last year don't carry over. So you gotta do something new. So at best, they're just competing with themselves, and they got the couple players who play it. People seem to like Forge, but like you said, it's not bringing the game into like competitiveness with other FPS. So
they probably drop like a battle royale people can jump into and have fun with, and then they can explore the real stuff again. but that's probably what's going to save it, which sucks. But they need a battle royale at this point. They need something that's new, fresh, and can get the masses to kind of join back in, because once they have that, they can kind of trigger them to play the regular modes. People will want to get better at the game of Halo because of the battle royale and being on top number one. That's always a satisfying win, and like you really can't get it anywhere else. So I think the battle royale component will make people want to play the game more because of the ability to get better with some of the weapons and understand how floaty and crunchy and what you can truly do in the game. And that will bring an influx of people. And it's a huge amount of money that you got to spend up front for a potential reward. I don't know where Microsoft's head is, but I think they should focus on now, especially if they can't get the Activision deal, they should focus on making the games that they actually own better. So I'm pretty sure they can make something shake with 80 billion. Just that's my thoughts. But yeah, unfortunately, it's another one of those games where Microsoft screws the pooch. And I'm not, and like, again, not worst game, just disappointing. I don't even have I don't play worst games because I'm very selective, if they're free, I'm still selective. The Game Pass, all Game Pass games don't get played. That's just the truth. Time is precious. So, even if it is something that I can get access to and have access to, and they give it to me for free on PlayStation Plus, don't mean I'm going to play it. It's just there. So, you got my time, you earn my time, and then you drop the ball. So, disappointing, least favorite, and least game enjoyed. So, yeah, that's pretty much the list there. Anything else? Any runner-ups y'all want to mention? Anything that was like, wow, y'all really just did that. It's always funny when they're
Apex would have been my runner-up, yeah, because Apex was our game.
Yeah, it's always the surprise ones. That's really disappointing. Like the surprise, the slow burns. I feel a little bit better at because I used to enjoy them, but the ones that are just truly bad from the get go, it's like, dang, wow, Overwatch, I was dogging the mess of that game for 2 weeks because it was bad. It was like you kicked out for achievements, you can't really get into the service, and then they had a bunch of issues with adding your players, and then they had the whole aim assist the debacle where they felt like it was not important to have on, which really bothered me. But they turned it around, and guess what? Less than 2-3 months? 2-3 months? Yeah. They turned it around in less than 2 or 3 months. They listened to the community and they did what they had to get people to play. Aim assist is no longer disabled when you play with PC players when you're on the console. So they did. Now, granted, they had minor issues. They didn't have big ones, but those minor issues definitely stopped me from playing that game. And if it would have stayed on like that, I probably would not still be playing that game. I would probably just be playing Call of Duty. But luckily, they fixed it. So, I can appreciate when games happen like that, where they try to fix it immediately, soon and fast. But I really, really appreciate games that come out and actually work and really are above that caliber of expectation. It's just like it exceeds all expectations that way. But yeah, I don't really have any runner-ups. I really don't like to waste my time. Not in that way anymore. Like where I'm just trying something. They at least have to have an inkling that it's a good game. It has to have something mechanical wise, like Tina Tina's Wonderland. I ain't buy it. I bought it, and I just knew, and that's looter shooters is my thing. I don't know how much I play Looter Shooters. Looter Shooters is my thing. But I couldn't take myself to unwrap it. $74.99 for this? I took it back. Still ain't bought it. It was $15 on Black Friday. I said, no, thank you. No, thank you. I honestly did not want to waste my time. And I'm pretty sure it's a decent game and I can find some enjoyment. But, man, time is precious now. Time is so precious. You don't even know. But yeah, any lasting thoughts before we get up out of here? Anything I want to say, mention, or talked about, let the people know about before we go?
No.
Yeah, we finna go get
enjoy
on
your
Overwatch,
holidays.
Yeah, happy holidays. Happy holidays.
You better watch out for us on Overwatch. Don't get clapped.
Oh boy, stop playing that before they come out here and smack us.
Man, they can come see us.
Man.
I'm the coldest ash, man. Come see me.
I gotta go look up his stats. Don't look up his what's it called, the ELO?
Don't worry about none of that. Just come see me in the mat. Getting straight every time on me.
Oh, baby. That man ranked 1,000,005 on the I don't even know. We gotta go check our ELO. That's what we gotta check. I know mine's probably atrocious, but I'm pretty sure Josh Jalen probably got like a decent one. So we're gonna check that out. We're gonna report back on our ELOs for the Overwatch.
Elo.
Your Elo's trash, bro. These boys suck.
Hey, remember we first got introduced to that in Destiny?
Yes, bro.
It was like, bro, y'all ELO, sorry, y'all something. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? We busting y'all head. Like, I'm confused. I'm like, what is an ELO? You had to look it up.
Oh, my goodness. Well, all right. Thank you guys for listening. If you got to this part, you the real OG. I want to thank you guys for listening as always. And we will talk to you guys in the next one. We're going to be missing next week because of Christmas and the holidays. But after that, we'll be seeing you back on the 2nd. Peace and happy holidays.